everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reaction Therapy. I'm your resident psychotherapist, Tom Stevens, here to break down lyrics to some awesome music. And today I am pumped and I'm scared at the same time. It is Tom MacDonald's Sheeple, new song that just came out. And I have tried and tried. It is so hard for me to keep up with what Tom is saying, but I try my best. I do my best because you know our mission to spread mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics. And he pumps so much intensity and so much information into his lyrics, which I find so fascinating and so cool. And the way he is unapologetically confident in what he says and wants people to hear it. The guy stands up, he walks his talk, you know, and that's the key to life, is to be able to believe in what you stand for and try your best to be able to be the best person you can be for the people that you're with. I can't wait for the day one day I get to meet him because he seems like a pretty cool guy. And there's just a ton of questions, obviously. But look, as a psychotherapist, this is what I've waited for. Sheeple, the title says it all. And you don't want to be a sheeple with anything, right? You don't want to be somebody that just follows along just because you're told to. You want to be able to know what you believe in. And I say it over and over again before I dive into this. You don't want to just look at something, especially social media, and believe it automatically. You've got to be able to do your own research and know what you stand for in life. But if you want more reaction therapy, go see our Patreon page, go to YouTube, check memberships. There's tons of private live stream content stuff. We have videos out there that you wouldn't believe. We are having a blast spreading mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics. But look, enough. I'm frazzled because I'm scared. I mean, I'm going to admit it, but I'm going to dive in. Without further ado, Tom MacDonald, Sheeple.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who...
It just goes right in. There was no warm me up. Like there's no... There's the eyeball in the sky. All the drones out there, or clones. They weren't drones, I guess. They're clones of people that are just kind of walking around. But you have to realize how we can be kind of controlled in a lot of different ways in life and programmed if we don't watch it, especially in today's world. Okay, Tom, let's go.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a...
That didn't take long.
You and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie.
I gotta condense this, but I can't. Could be a 35-minute video, 40-minute video, because of all the information in here. And I think what I'm hearing in that message is, look, mental health perspective. Sometimes we get this message sent to us and we're actually fighting with each other, not even over an actual fight between us. It's something that's been passed down. It's something that's been generational. It's something that is from some other story somewhere else. And we quit treating each other as people. And I try very hard to treat everybody I run into as people, as, you know, somebody that, I just try to care about other people. Even if I disagree with somebody, I still want to be nice to them and considerate to them and have, you know, good character in my life, because that's what I've been taught and because I do care about people. But this message is actually true in the sense that, are we actually fighting about something you have against me right now that I'm doing or who I'm being? Or is this from some other place that now we're both burdened with the same role? And it's actually both sides. And then when you look at how are we what messages are we hearing? I worry about that with social media because I don't think they show us what we want to see all the time. I think they show us what they want us to see a lot of the time.
Folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control all the political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order, they let die. Play with people, turn men into women, make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns, if gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information.
Interesting how he says that, right? I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. I think he's just calling out the idea that, look, we're all people. And if we separate ourselves, which is the goal of certain people or certain parties, he's saying, that actually helps other people. It actually helps them. It actually helps the people up here, not us. Like the more divided we are, it doesn't help us. The more we come together, it helps us, which I do believe. And we've gotten to a point in our world where, you know, identity is a big thing and everybody wants to find an identity. It was not here 30 years ago. That was not the same kind of thing. So something's changing. I get very frustrated when I feel like people want me in a certain category, like pick a side. And I don't like that because I think all he's doing, okay, this is the key to our country in America, is we're supposed to have a voice. But when we have a voice that somebody disagrees with, then you're not supposed to have that voice. And if you disagree with me, I don't think I should shut you down. I don't think I should say you're a terrible person. I want you to have your voice, but I also want to be able to have my voice. And I think he's saying, man, this gets pretty bad when we get divided out to fight against each other. And now everybody's falling apart because of that. And calling out the system, honestly, with the system, this is not by accident. This is happening on purpose, I think is what he's saying. This is a purposeful thing to try to infiltrate the people so that we can control the people. Man, that's a complex.
No poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
I love this, how he puts it into a song and got the chorus here and all of these like robot things, they're all the same, right? They all look the same, and which is what he's saying they want. Sheep follow, right? They follow their leader. And he's just saying, don't follow. Don't just be a follower, you know? Look, like Rick Warren said, who wrote Purpose Driven Life. He was a leader at Saddleback Church out in Utah, I believe it was. But he had that quote I just love that says, leaders create more leaders. Wannabes just create more followers. I'll never forget that. Wannabes just create more followers. If you just want more followers, you know, you are just a wannabe leader. But if you're an actual leader in the world, whether it's a sports team, a company, here, a music artist, and you want people to be different and change, if you want to be a real leader, you're going to create more leaders, more people who can be that kind of person. I just didn't expect this chorus to kick in. Oh, can't have no peace till we're on the same team. I believe that wholeheartedly. We say that at Reaction Therapy. We're a family and we support each other. There's no division here that goes on because we want mental health. That's the whole mission here. We want mental health awareness. We want people to overcome their past, their traumas, their addictions, their struggle, their abuse, their abandonment, their whatever, depression, anxiety, anything, and to do it through music and lyric and community that we have, not to try to divide people off and try to put people down and hit below the belt. But hey, Sheeple, what do you believe? And if I ask you what you believe, can you tell me what you believe and know you stand by that? Or is it just something that you've heard, kind of like hearing the weather? I got to hear this chorus again because I loved it.
The screen's just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been writing your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleet, bet, cap. They trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree it's free speech, disagree it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to
He's just pointing things out. Some people will say this is stirred up the pot, and I don't see it as stirred up the pot. I see it as he's tried to educate himself. Look, I've never seen more division in reactions I've done than with Tom MacDonald's music. And that tells me something as a person. Like, being a mental health professional for almost 30 years, like, life was different back in the 90s when I started doing, 1990s when I started doing this. The fact that he sets up such a firestorm or stirs the pot enough, I guess, to get people so divided tells me he's going somewhere with this. Because otherwise people would just discount him and just not bother. But it bothers people so much that there has to be something there. And recognize this. In our mental health field, what we say is whenever somebody really annoys you, it usually has more to do with yourself than that other person. If you really bother me, it's probably an issue of my own that I have that I'm watching in you. It's a true statement. Like, recognize that. If somebody is irritating you, but they don't irritate me, I don't have an issue with them, I'm not triggered by them, then it's not reflecting anything on me. So if he is triggering anybody, then it's probably because he's hitting a hot button. And so it's important just to hear that. You don't have to agree with anything he says, literally, but he's expressing an opinion and he's backing it up with what he says. It's so much information. I cannot even digest all of it. I just sit here and read it. It's like, wow, it's like a book that I'm reading. If you agree, it's free speech. Disagree, it's hate speech. Like, to me, I've felt that in my life before, especially coming from the opinions I have. If you agree, it's free speech. Like, it's good. Yeah, it's good. But if I say something that somebody doesn't agree with, then all of a sudden it's hate speech. I just don't think that's fair on either side of the spectrum. I think we need to be able to say what we want to say without having anybody muzzled on something. But I just don't think we should be mean to each other. I don't think we should tear each other apart. I don't think we should destroy other people's lives or property. I really don't. I think, I'm not here to try to make your life worse, and I don't want you to be able to make my life worse. I want us to support each other, care for each other, and be here for each other. And sometimes songs like this and reactions like this try to put people on different sides too much. And I'm talking a ton today because this is firing me up.
Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed. Because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle. Addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful. Then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral.
Wow. Listen to all of that. Society is broke and won't want you locked inside a cubicle. They just want you in this box. And I do believe this. I think too many people have become too addicted and adjusted to society we have, addicted to pornography, liquor, drugs, tell you you're fat, poor, you're never beautiful, and then tweet about how they love you when they see you at your funeral. Man, it's too much of this social media. And it's gotten us hooked in, and that's where we live our lives. We don't live our lives face to face, where we can see each other and live in front of each other and support each other in all everyday life. And he's hitting a total hot button for me, like, of support with, I think, social media. Technology has gone too far, and it controls too much of what we do. And we have to be able to go back to basics in terms of face-to-face relationship with people and talking about real issues, which is, how do we care, support, love each other, and do our best to come together as a society so that we can make life better instead of tear each other down, and then we split apart and our society falls apart.
Broken, want you locked inside a cubicle. Addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful. Then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. We can't be free, can't have be still we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Moved the screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell.
Boy, he is hitting every possible topic when it comes to the current state of our life today, which is why I think it creates such a buzzstorm of controversy. And I love the fact that Tom, I just love him being unapologetic. He's a guy, you look at Tom here, right? Never see me hanging out with him. He's a guy I'd actually like to talk to because I think he would listen to what I have to say. I think he would hear what I have to say. And I think sometimes he probably gets misunderstood with being a bad guy or a mean guy or not caring about people because he so strongly states his opinion that I've seen some of the guys with, I think, the biggest egos in the world in my office, CEOs of company, high-level athletes, people who just have millions of dollars and their heads as big as ever and they got a huge ego. But when I really break it down with them, they're really sweet people. They're kind people. And they just live in this bubble. And for him, he's an artist, right? So he creates music and he puts entertainment out there and he's putting his own life, his own beliefs, and his own ideas out there. It doesn't mean it's everybody's got to believe what I do. He's saying, I just want you to believe what you believe. I want you to go find out what you believe, not just take what these people over here told you to believe and then regurgitate that. Believe what you believe for a reason. And a long time ago with families, I believe there's been a huge breakdown in the family over the past 30 years. With families, you believed it from the family outward. So the family core unit was stronger and you got your principles and your ideals and your character development from that. But now families all fragmented. I've seen it in the mental health field. It's all broken apart. Dads are missing all over the place. And we get our self-esteem, we get our character development, we get our belief system from out there, from social media and other people. And it scares me. It scares me because it's very different than how it used to be.
And you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police. Now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you. They don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach your rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are.
That's the truth. He's just saying, be educated, y'all. I remember when 1984 came out. I remember seeing that. Of course, back in 1984, I remember those days of like the future and wondering what it would be like. But isn't that interesting? He called them thought police. And now they call them fact checkers, And what it comes down to is, am I thinking for myself or am I letting somebody else think for me? And I don't want other people thinking for me. I don't want other people thinking for my children either. And I want to be able to have my ideas and my wife to have her ideas and beliefs, whether it comes to politics, whether it comes to religion, whether it comes to, as a person, the integrity I have as a person and how I love other people and care for them, whether it has boundaries that I have to stand up for. I want you to believe what you believe for a reason and for a purpose. But that's why I love mental health, because you can go somewhere, talk to somebody who is there to support you, encourage you, and also confront you on how you really feel and what you really think. And when that person does that, you can really find out who you are. Therapy is a great look in the mirror. If it's done right, it's a look in the mirror yourself. It's like constantly staring at yourself in the mirror to see what you like or don't like about your face and your body and all that. We don't look at ourselves in the mirror very often, but when you do, you're going to find out how you really feel about yourself. So do that for 5 or 10 minutes and see how you feel, because we see all the flaws. And many times we don't look at the flaws. We just look at what makes us feel better. And so we tend to believe a lot of stuff that we might not really fully understand. And he's saying, just look, study, research, find out who you are. Man, he has got some serious scenery here.
Teacher writes in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law.
Nah.
We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team. But y'all are sheep. Blue to scream's just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do you
Almost like with that tube in his nose, like he's being fed just all of this stuff. I don't know if that's part of the Sheeple thing with it going up his nose, being fed. And these people can't move. They're robots that can only move when told to move.
y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Wow. Tom MacDonald, Sheeple, just blows me away. What's packed in there? I'll be able to talk to him one day about this because that's like 3 songs in one to me that could be broken down so much. And look at him at the end, like that thing in his nose, and then he's got the white eyes instead of the black eyes, and like wires taped to the head, like it's he's being controlled and ruled by things. It's really, really, really creepy, but also fascinating how he creates this. He must spend a lot of time figuring out how he's going to produce a video to be able to explain the point, because he's got really creative ideas with that. But I think what's most fascinating is that when I have a song by Tom MacDonald, it creates this one side or the other mentality. And I love the part, and this is Tom talking, but I love the part that says, you know, if you agree, it's right, it's basically free speech, but if you disagree, it's hate speech kind of thing. I love how in this world today, that happens a lot. Like if I happen to say something that I really mean in a loving way, but you take it in a bad way, it's all of a sudden I was being bad or being mean. And I don't believe that in people. So I try to listen to what people say. And in my office, it happens all the time. When I work with couples, one person will say something to their wife, and the wife takes it offensively. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I heard. I heard him say it this way. And sometimes we misinterpret, and we need to take time. But the bottom line, I love the bottom piece. That was one of my favorites. But the bottom was, you got to believe what you believe for a reason and know what you believe. But remember, it's Hidden Real Therapy. This is just Tom breaking down. Well, it's Tom breaking down lyrics to music. If you want professional help, check the links in the description of this video. Go to our Discord server and chat some more about Tom MacDonald, reaction therapy, mental health, and so much more. But if you want more reaction therapy, go to our Patreon page, go to YouTube. There's tons of content out there, I promise you. And leave us your comments, feedback, insight, because Nick and I love every day looking at your comments, being able to respond, being able to talk to you in the Discord room, and see you on the live streams. It is so much fun. Thanks for supporting our mission to spread mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics. And I can't wait to see you on the next Reaction Therapy.